Welcome to week 6 of the 52-week art journal journey. I hope you have your mini project from last week. If you missed last week's prompt, you can find the link in the description. You should have something that looks something like this, but as you can see, my focusing on thinking about instructions and being filmed, I was a little constrained, so my background yellow ended up rather small. But let's get started with today's project. The first thing we need to do is cut our paper in half between the blue and orange section. Next, we will cut our orange section into circles, about penny or dime sized. A nickel would probably be too big. Next, you'll need a glue stick. We'll put the first of our orange circles near the top edge of our brown section. Next, we need to cut our blue section. Yeah, you guessed it. Rather in the shape of, well, a bowl. Here's my original practice bowl of oranges. I hope you had fun making your bowl of oranges, but of course that is not all we're going to do today. It's time to get out all of those fun paint experiments you did last week and put them to good use. Okay, so in typical Melinda fashion, we've had a little bit of an issue. I just filmed a section about getting started having fun, except I wasn't actually filming. At least not from this angle. I was only filming the above, which is something new this week, a different type of video again. As always, it's imperfect. As am I. As I was sitting here talking to you, except I wasn't really talking to you, I was just talking to myself. So, our fun for today, the second part of today's small art, is taking the painted pieces of scrap paper we had from last week and doing something interesting with them in our art journal. If you see colors and shapes that remind you of something, or you have an image in your head you'd like to create with what you have, go for it. Or just have fun with shapes and color, which is what I'm going to do. I had thought I might like to work in multiple layers and try out one of my new Mod Podges. That's a weird word. I've only ever used one type of Mod Podge, but I got that little sampler from Blick Art Materials. If you're interested, there will be a link either in the description or in the blog post that will be linked to in the description. Let's just have some fun cutting things up and then gluing them together to make something new. You can also tear things. So let's talk about our journaling for today. This week and last week, we had to both follow rules and then do things without any rules at all, except to have fun. And end up with something new and different. Which did you like better? Are you someone who likes to have clear instructions so you know exactly step by step what you need to do? Or are you someone who resents them and just wants to do what you want to do the way you want to do it? Do rules make you feel constrained? Or do you find some freedom in them? I know that may sound weird. Yeah, my son is playing on the computer with his friends. Letting go of perfection. I imagine most of us are somewhere in between. There's a safety in rules. Sometimes we find safety in rules, even ones that we may resent, because they can make things easier. Sometimes it's easier to blame perceived constraints for not moving forward than it is to do whatever it takes to move forward. I've struggled with that in my life. So today we are journaling about rules and guidelines and outside expectations versus perceived freedom. Maybe if you're not sure about what to write or how you feel about that, you can start with how it felt to just be guided through a process, however you felt about how it turned out, to just being told, do whatever you want, have fun with it, be creative, come up with something new that's never been seen before. Maybe you can turn on some of your favorite music. The music I can put in my video is, I'm getting tired of it. And sometimes it's nice to just be able to turn up some music and do art. So have some fun with this. Take some time to think about how you function with rules and structure compared to when things are more open and undefined. And have fun making art. Thank you for joining me. If you are new here, check the links in the description for more information. Feel free to follow along on Instagram or my Facebook page. If you ever feel like sharing part of your art journal online, remember to tag me and or use the hashtag #ArtJournalWithMelinda. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and establish a routine of creative self-care. Art journaling, this form of art journaling I came up with for myself, has had an amazing impact on my life, and I have to share it with others. I'll be back next week with another video. In the meantime, I'm glad you've made time for this art, and if you have a chance, take some time for some more. It's not a waste of time. It took me a long time to convince myself of that, but I'm someone who needs to make art. We all need to be creative. We're wired for that. Created in the image of the creator. For me, making art makes a huge difference in my mental and emotional and spiritual health. So let me encourage you to be creative and take the time for creative self-care.